What's going on, all you cool cats and kittens? I just watched that for the first time the other day, and let me tell you, pretty fucked up. Anyways, welcome to another issue of Words with Nerds. As always, it is your illustrious uh, interviewers here. We don't actually interview anybody. Never mind. It's just a Triple S crew. Forget it. It's me as always, Sundance Kid himself, aka DJ.
It is me, Slick, the Vic Rodriguez.
It's me, Space Case, aka Vince. Welcome back, friends, family, people that we have no idea who you are. Thanks for showing up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a nice awkward pause per usual after I'm done talking.
It's always fun when you take over.
I love it.
It's just so much fun.
So this week is DJ's week, and we're doing something fun and funky and fresh. So fresh that I anticipate the viewer count on this video to go up in like 3 weeks instead of right away, because I doubt a lot of people actually went to go see this right away, except for us three big ass nerds.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Yeah.
But yeah, I'll let DJ take it away. It's his week. It's his topic. What do we got, boy?
So speaking of drum roll, please. Bang! It's gonna be the Eternals, Marvel's newest installment into the MCU. Gotta tell you, just first impression. Not gonna get too much into it. I'm just gonna say, wow.
Yeah, wow.
Just fucking wow.
Definitely a wow.
Yeah. Let's definitely. I mean, just first impressions before we get into it. Just good, bad.
I'll say I got like a sideways thumbs up.
Ooh.
With a question mark and a Mexican tilde.
I have a mostly upward.
Mm-hmm.
I have a mostly upward thumb.
Okay.
Victor?
It was a movie. That was my logic. It was like I enjoyed it because I know what the Eternals were before the movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say it like that. And I enjoyed it. It hit the beats that I would assume it would. And it was just, it wasn't bad. It was just like, oh, it's a movie, you know?
Yeah, okay. We're definitely going to get into it.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. There's different feelings about this movie, which I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to be the general consensus of the movie. Some people are going to love this. Some people are going to hate it. And some are going to have sideways thumbs up with Mexican tildes, just like me. Just out of curiosity, I haven't been to the movie theater in probably like 2 years. Has it been the same for you guys? Have you guys been to movies since the Eternals, or how was the whole movie going experience for you guys?
Victor, you can take this one first.
I've been to the movies because me and Amanda went on dates. And I went to see it's spicy stuff. We went to see Demon Slayer and Shang-Chi, but it was the same kind of thing where it just still felt kind of empty. Like it felt like it's weird because every time you hear Marvel movie, you would assume like, oh shit, I'm not going to get a ticket.
Right.
Like, no, I went like 20 minutes before the show with my dad, and my dad's really excited to see this because he loves Marvel movies. You know, my dad, we went to see Endgame with him.
Yeah. Been to many movies with your pops.
He's the best drunk talker I've ever heard him. And we're just we see there's all these seats available, and he's like, there's a Marvel movie, right? I'm like, yeah, it's like a big one. So it was interesting just seeing it not as hyped as it should be. My logic.
Yeah.
No, I think, it's still kind of weird going back to the movie theaters. My last movie was really recent. I woke up and was like, I want to go to the movies. And I was thinking like, what's out? So I went to go see the new James Bond flick. It was amazing, but yeah, it was also, there was no one there. It was also like a Tuesday, and I went to like a 3:00 show.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was probably going to be empty regardless, but it feels different. Just like, I don't know, it just kind of feels unfamiliar. It's been so long. You know what I mean? So, but when I went to go to the movies and with my dad to see Eternals, like it was actually like sold out. So it was a really
Oh.
cool experience because you got the like the moviegoer experience, the audience experience, and
Yeah, that's always. I personally, there were moments in this movie where I wish it was packed, like it was watching Endgame all over, because there were moments where I could hear a crowd cheering in my head, and like moments of like big heroic moments, something like that. And I'm like, man, there's no one here to cheer. I'm just in the corner, like, yeah.
Or like the laughter moments, like the
Mhm.
parts where there's like genuinely funny stuff where you're just like you're
You've got the
laughing.
one like 40-something-year-old dude that came alone laughing really loud 14 rows ahead of you.
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
times. Good times.
Shout out if you are that person too. There's nothing wrong with that.
There's a little something wrong with that, but that's cool.
The
Victor's
rock paper scissors.
yeah.
Ready?
Yeah, hold on.
Wait,
This
hold on. We're
Okay, go.
Spotify people. This is rock
Yeah.
paper scissors. This sounds different. I'm sure.
It's Rochambeau. All right,
Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. What do we have? Paper. I'm
scissors.
done. Go for it.
Shut up. All right. Okay, everybody. I'm in charge now.
I am the captain.
I am the captain now. Look at me. God, I really want to do my Black Panther impression, but I'm not going to right now. Save it for later. Oh yeah. So Victor, since you're like our resident comic expert, I would say, how about you give the listeners and viewers a little background on the Eternals?
Comic or movie?
Start with comic.
All right, so the comic portion of the Eternals, they were created by the late and great Jack the King Kirby. Jack Kirby, he's known to create like really psychedelic, weird idea stuff. He's actually, when he worked with DC, he created the People of the Fourth World, Apocalypse, Darkseid, all that stuff. So when he made the Eternals, it was kind of his idea of what like kind of his spin on it again when he got the chance to make such a weird thing where he's like, oh, you're giving me the ability to do this. So long story short, the Eternals history is that they are a offshoot of mankind. So they are what mankind can be if they were gifted with something. The Celestials, which are pretty much godlike entities in the Marvel MCU, took a bunch of humans and turned them into Eternals. It's about 100 of them were turned into Eternals, and the other 100 that were taken were turned into their counterparts, which are the Deviants. Their histories have changed throughout every iteration. Every comic book writer kind of wants to spin it a different way because comics evolve, and Jack Kirby gave such a basic kind of outline to them.
Mm-hmm.
So throughout the years, there's been things where you find out that Eternals can't die, or they will reincarnate. Like you can only destroy an Eternal if you destroy them at the molecular level, and even then, if one atom survives, they will be reborn. Deviants, their history changes from that they were just an offshoot where they share that deviant gene, but they don't look alike at all. They all have different abilities. To where you find out that like the deviants were actually food for the Eternals. The Eternals would grow them and food for the Celestials, and the Eternals would pretty much round them up and feed them. So it's changed throughout the history, but the core of it stayed the same, where the main cast of the Eternals, which are Icarus, Sprite, Ringo, Gilgamesh, Thena, I'm forgetting two more, but they are essentially the ones that the stories always kind of focus on. Phasmos, it's always them that the stories kind of focus on. So it was really neat watching this iteration of it, because a lot of it did pay a lot of respect to the founding material, which it was really neat to watch.
Awesome. I love it. I love hearing about the history of everything, because I don't always know the history going into stuff like this. I didn't know I didn't know the history of the Eternals going into this at all. So it's always cool to have one of you guys that know, so that I can kind of get caught up or add to my own education, I guess.
There's Victor, always giving us the Marvel 101. So I mean, for those that are going to watch the movies, there's a little bit of difference there. Vic, you want to explain the just difference from movie to comic?
So they did pay a lot of respect keeping it to where the Celestials did create both species, which was really a neat thing to see. They did touch upon where they did create more than the Eternals that we do see in the movie. They do keep it to where the Eternals, they did exist throughout humanity and helped guide them. One of the hints that's actually a really cool drawback to the comics themselves is that you realize that they were the heroes of legend that we heard throughout different points in history. That the hero Hercules, the hero, the like multiple heroes, even Athena, they were they were all based off them, and that was a big thing in the comics too. Was that they were all referenced, and they are the legends of or the heroes of legend, and one of the funny things too, which we'll talk about later, Kingo, yeah, my bad, Kingo. Kingo's backstory did not change. Like that's pulled straight from the comic.
That's awesome.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's so funny.
Oh man,
I loved it. I loved that portrayal of him because I'm like, damn, they didn't even change anything about that. And so was the Cersei and what's his name, Dan Whitman's character. Like,
Dan Whitman
was pulled straight from the comics. So it's very, very little has changed. I don't want to talk about what changes because we're going to end up talking about them right now, and I don't want to spoil it for the conversation for the viewers, all that stuff. So pretty much, they did keep a lot. The only thing that they did change was there was one gender change, really. Ajax, Salma Hayek's character. That's actually a male. That's a male in the comic books.
Cool.
And then the Celestial that they serve, it's weird that they didn't really talk about that. Each Celestial has like an acronym to their name. So Azeroth. Yeah.
Erish.
Or no, Azeroth is definitely some. Yeah, you're saying it right.
Erisham. He's Erisham the Judge. So he's like, they all have like a weird kind of moniker. So that's the only thing that got changed. But beyond that, it was not too many changes. They did pull an original storyline, but it was kind of neat. So that's all I'll say. Sorry.
No, awesome.
No, good. I think Vince, what did you think about? Because so from here on out, guys, we're just going to tell you right now there are going to be definite spoilers. Okay, because we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of it all. Okay, so sorry, but spoilers ahead.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so Vince, what did you think about with the opening, kind of like Star Wars reminiscent, where like they just give you straight from the jump the backstory of the Celestials and the Eternals and everything that's going on? Like, where were you at in the beginning?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of openings like that, where they kind of give you a block of dialogue on the screen and they catch you up. As it's weird, as a really big film fan, as far as like, I love watching film, I love making film, I love learning about film. It's surprising to myself that I'm into that kind of thing because you would think that I would want to see that all pan out. But in a 2.5 hour movie, I would gladly take a paragraph at the beginning to explain and catch me up on what's going on. The pacing in the beginning of the story I thought was really well done. They do a really good job at bouncing back and forth between modern times and their backstory and kind of keeping things interesting and not boring you to death with the backstory. And I found myself wondering where are we in the time zone, in the timeline. Sorry. The first, 45 minutes, I'll say it was pretty well done, a little slow, but there's definitely, without spoiling too much, there's a death of a certain character, and that's where I got hooked immediately. So someone gets found dead, and right there I was like, all right, I'm in. Let's see where the story goes. But yeah.
Victor, Same question. Where were you at in the like? I want to say the beginning or towards the middle of the story.
So I've always said it. I prefer I a lot to what Vince said. I do prefer it in superhero movies when they don't have to sit there and be like, "We're going to give you a super detailed origin of this." Like, no, we're just going to the paragraph. It sums it up really well. Star Wars does it because they're like, "Hey, this is an established world. We don't have to spoon feed you what's going on. Like, you
Right.
have to know what's going on at this point. Like, this is the fourth episode of season 5 of Lost. Like, you have to know some shit right now." So I did appreciate that, and then the movie did get me like, what's up, cat? The movie did get me. It just looks like you just punched the cat. The movie did get me. Honestly, when it was the introduction,
She was scratching my leather chair for the record, so I moved the chair so she fell off. She's okay. Plus, she's mean to all the cats here, so I don't feel bad.
Fair enough.
Sorry, continue.
Fair enough. It was interesting because the movie got me with like Dan Whitman, Kit Harington's character, and then when they introduced Icarus, it got me because I could see, I could definitely see the parallels of the characters. I could see the comedy right away, and then there we'll talk about it a little more. I would love, but there's subtle nuances with each character about like these kind of. They're all immortals. Like there are all these people that have existed since mankind's existence, since before even modern recording of mankind. So there's definitely a cool thing watching these characters who are just like in their own way, each respectively, like an old soul, and all of them kind of carried that right away. And then you could see it's. I liked that. I liked that. That caught me right in the beginning, and you can tell. Like these dudes they picked them, so that's why that's what I felt the first few minutes of the movie was just like, oh man, they really established these dudes well, real quick. That was my thoughts.
Yeah, that's one thing I was really worried about was the size of the main cast. Obviously, there's like 2 or 3 of the Eternals that are the main characters, but there's 7 or 8 Eternals. I was like, how the fuck are they gonna give us backstory and character development on this entire cast? And they pulled it off pretty well.
Okay, so just so we're clear, we have Ajax, Athena, Gilgamesh, Makari, Druig, Fastos, Sprite, and Icarus.
You're missing one.
Yeah, there's one more.
Kingo.
Cersei.
Kingo.
Oh, and
Cersei.
Kingo, yeah.
And
That's
Cersei.
10.
Yeah, 10 of them. See?
There's 10.
Oh, man. Crazy.
Surprised I remember all that. Okay, so
Yeah. That's why we'll get into it. That's why my thumb is like halfway up, halfway down. I understand the feat of tackling a movie like this and a story like this, but there's some things that I was just like, the fuck?
It was, you know what? First impression for me was I can see the visual effects like crew being nominated for like Academy Award.
Come on.
For the special effects? Hell yeah, dude.
Dude,
The
this
visual
is a
effects,
practical
come
joke.
on.
You're not serious.
This
This
looked
was
amazing.
This
No, it
was the
wasn't.
worst.
No, it was so good.
Oh my god. I'm
Oh,
so sorry.
man.
This is like
Oh, this
something
is so
this out of
unconventional.
everything that I disliked about this movie, this
So
is
controversial.
the thing I disliked the most.
Super controversial.
Sorry,
Oh.
I'll let you finish and then I will.
Can I say
Say
my
my piece.
piece? Can I say
Absolutely. Hey,
my
you won.
piece?
You won rock paper scissors, so go for it.
God. Also, just quick little tidbit. I was watching. I don't know, for people that follow me on Instagram and was wondering what the hell I posted on there on my story. It was Showdown in Little Tokyo, or Trouble in Little Tokyo. Sorry, the 1991 joint with Dolph Lundgren and Brandon Lee.
Gotcha.
I just thought I should put that out there. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. This controversial clashing of, because usually me and Vin are
Visual
always on the
effects.
same side, but we're just I don't know, dude. I just think that it was kind of awesome, like the space scenes and like when you saw the Celestials, like Arisham, and like the visual effects for when they were waking the Celestial or the new one, I was kind of like, oh shit! Like it just seemed cool the way they
Yeah.
made Makari look like a speedster, and like I really dug all of that, man.
Okay. I will say that I do agree with you with the way Makari's powers looked. All the powers. I love how they're gold and they're really pretty. Cersei's powers, absolutely beautiful. I don't know if that's a origin from the comic, but the way she was able to turn any sort of obstacle or weapon used against her into something beautiful, like the bus in the beginning, the big red bus coming at her, she turned into roses. That was
Yeah, that was
awesome.
beautiful.
She turned something into birds. They all fluttered away. Like that was such a beautiful power that she had. Um,
So like just so you know, in the comics, and correct me if I'm wrong, Victor, but a
mhm,
lot of the a lot of the Eternals don't have like those focus based powers.
Mhm.
A lot of them just have like basic, kind of like if they were like Kryptonians or something. Like
Mhm.
they're invulnerable, immortal. They have they can control like eternal cosmic energy and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But
I think we should
in
do
this one, it was
we should do a
specialized.
little segment on their powers after the visuals
Mm,
because
yeah.
I think it's well worth mentioning.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They were
So
all very unique as individuals. I think. Um,
the Eternals, like they have their base set like Kryptonians, yeah, like they have a
sure.
base set of powers, but then like think about it like a mutation. Like they each have a thing that they can do. So Cersei, she can manipulate anything on an atomic level and change
Mhm.
into something else.
Mhm.
Icarus, strength, flight, super or laser vision. Uh, Galgamish is the strong. Technically, he is the strongest Eternal. Like physically, he's overwhelming, and he has the energy gauntlets that he can produce when he's doing impacts. So yeah, you're right. It's like that, but just a little like each of them have a different thing to help them be unique. I thought that was beautiful. The
Yeah.
effects for it. Yeah.
Definitely something to go back to. I need to finish this rant and I'll make it quick. But there, like DJ was saying, there's a lot of really good parts about the visuals. I can't disagree there. The way that Erisham looks, the way they pulled him from the comic into the movies with all the CGI, I thought he was really cool. They kind of made him look like stone or almost like charcoal. I thought
Mhm.
like a
Mhm.
charcoal texture to it. I thought that was really cool. The what is it? The World Forge, where all the memories are. That
Mm-hmm.
was very pretty. Um, this is the things that I had an issue with were really basic editing, and I'm not sure if they just paid really close attention to like the big details like Erisham and whatever else, and they forgot the small things. But there are so many instances where you get typical over the shoulder shots and the mouths of characters aren't matching up to the audio. Like it was so obvious to me that I wasn't even paying attention for that kind of thing. And I was catching it left and right. It happened once or twice. And then all of a sudden it just started spiraling from there. I was like, this is insane. I've never seen a movie with that bad of dialogue. Do some ADR. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. But the green screen effects were trash. Like you can clearly see that they were in front of a green screen. And it just takes away the magic of the scene. That just takes you out of that environment because
Mhm.
now you're like, all right, well, they're in a studio. You know what I mean? I don't know. There were little things here and there where I was like, this is not a Marvel movie. I don't
Mhm.
understand where the budget went. I don't know if it was the budget went to Angelina Jolie or what's up, but
Damn,
the band
Vince are going
the
hard.
budget was not there for the visual effects in this movie, and it was not Marvel standard.
Damn. Okay. All
Sorry. Um,
right. Let's move on from that. The okay. I mean, maybe I just need to watch it again, or maybe it was like me going with my dad, and like that was our first movie being seen together since like the pandemic. But maybe I wasn't paying as close as attention as like I think to like that particularly, which is weird because I normally do. Um, I'll just have to watch it again, and like we'll convey after that. I'll probably send Vince a text like, "Dude, you're right."
Maybe. I mean, like I
Yeah.
said, you definitely brought up good points. There's definitely some really good key parts of the visuals that really stood out, but there were other parts where I was like, this doesn't seem like Marvel. I don't know what it didn't seem like Marvel doing that.
Can we just agree that like design wise, like visualization wise, like everything looked good?
Yes
Not
and
like
no.
special effects, but I mean like come on, like the suits.
Power Rangers. They look like Power Ranger suits.
God damn it, man.
I think they did it purposely, but it was kind of more
They do
to
not look like Power
they don't
Rangers.
like Power
They look
Rangers.
like Power Ranger suits.
But they
No, they
Especially
don't.
Cersei, she's a little Green Ranger over there.
Jesus.
She's like female Tommy.
They did it because I think they were trying to play really good homage to Icarus, because that's how Icarus's costume kind of looks for the most part, except like he has like a sash, but like all the other dudes, like they actually look way better in the like the comics version of it, because Jack Kirby drew it. So Jack Kirby, what he drew was like super weird and psychedelic. Like Thena, like she was covered in that light armor, like the light weapon she makes. She has like a base light armor on her. So
I did like Thena, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Thena and Makari. Makari's fit because she's supposed to be super fast, and it was like a slender costume with her. And then Thena just gorgeous, like the design with the she had like little like cape, armpit capes or something. I don't know. It was all airy and flowy, but
I like Kingo's, man. I think Kingo's was my favorite. Yeah,
Okay.
that purple. That
like
purple was going
yeah.
hard, along with that kilt. You know what I'm saying? Man, really got to get into the meat and potatoes here, boys. Victor, this one's for you first. Who is it? What is going on?
This is Lucy and
Lucifer.
no, well, yeah, kind of. Yeah,
We're gonna start
Just
calling
tail in the
Vince.
face.
We're just gonna start calling you Casalad the cat whisperer, bro.
kind of.
Okay, so who was your favorite character? No. Hold on. Well, just so we get a quick power set explanation. So all of the Eternals use cosmic energy to fuel their powers and how they use their powers. For Icarus, he displays it with optic beams from, obviously from his eyes. With Makari, it's her speed. With Druig, it's taking over or controlling the human mind. With Gilgamesh, it's particularly like a gauntlet, cosmic gauntlets that he uses in terms of super strength. Athena, she's able to create weapons of all kinds. Normally, she sticks to a sword and shield or a spear. Cersei, she can manipulate matter and change its forms. Sprite, she manipulates reality and can distort it. Kingo displays optic, almost kind of gun-like pistols that come from his fingers, but he can also create almost like kind of like a Kamehameha wave blast. So, but who am I missing? Ajax is a healer.
And she's the prime Eternal, so
she's
she can
the prime Eternal.
Yeah. She's the boss lady.
She's the leader. So I mean, and Festos obviously is an inventor and creates technological advancements over the course of history. So I think my question for both of you is, and Vic, you take this one first, is one, what is your favorite power set or skill set from any of the characters? And two, who is your favorite character in the beginning versus who is your favorite character at the end?
So my favorite character or my favorite power set, honestly, was Kingo's power and ability, because I thought it was simple. It was very simple, because think about it. It's literally just doing like pointing, like finger guns and going pow pow. But it's like, it could blow a hole in something. I thought it was very cool, and they showed that he had some skill with it. He also has a super strength, all the other abilities that an Eternal has, but he had skill with it. Like they showed that he was actually he was a warrior. Like that's the whole thing with him. He was a warrior. And he was my favorite character because I did like the comedic presence that he brought. And it was really wonderful at the beginning. And then when I continued watching it, Druig ended up being my favorite character. I actually really ended up liking him a lot and relating to that character kind of a bit because I liked the actor that they got to portray him. It was really, can I talk spoiler for a second? It was really wonderful seeing how he was the first Eternal to kind of go against Ajax, where he was like, he showed, like, you would first think he's kind of like the bad guy, like he's a bad guy because his power, mind control, is genuinely like a bad guy power. But he's like, I can help these people. We could have helped these people. Like, we're no better than the people that are killing them because we can stop this and we're not stopping it. So watching that, then watching him kind of get that courageous side with him, where he's just like, he's funny too, which that was an awesome point. But watching where he had growth, where he realized he's like, I could have done it to the whole world. I could have made humans stop conflict and stuff like that. And when they ask him why, it's just like, because that, like, the fact that they are angry, the fact that they are greedy, the fact that they are kind of persistent, it's what makes them human. If I took that away, they wouldn't be human. So it's like this really neat little thing of understanding. And this really, like, he has the drive to be a good person. And he, at the end, was a very good character, a good person. So he had like a very good arc. And then when I saw Kingo's arc, I was like, dude, why'd you... I didn't like where his arc went. I was like, well, that was fucking bogus. But that was my logic. Sorry, I'll stop.
No, you make a good point because, like, before I get my own personal thoughts, Vince, come on, hit me with the real. Same question.
Yeah, I agree with you, Victor. I kind of had a similar reaction with Kingo. Instantly, he's really funny. He pulls you in. He's charming, right? Like he's like the comedic relief, and he's the first character that really has any sort of comedy lines other than quick ones from Kit Harington in the beginning. Mm-hmm. So it's easy to like him in the beginning, and then he's got his sidekick or his
his valet.
His valet, yeah. So it's easy to fall into Kingo being a favorite character, which I definitely was a part of. Later down the road, I really started liking Gilgamesh. His fighting style is really cool. I love the Babylonian fight where he's fighting the big, huge monster at the gates, and he's like kind of getting sick and tired of the guy. He just like won't die. The guy he's fighting won't die. So he literally bitch slaps the monster dead. I'm calling it the bitch slap of Babylonian. That was my favorite part. My favorite part from him. I like that he eventually becomes kind of like a caretaker for Angelina Jolie's character, Athena, showing you kind of like the softer side of him. He's like this big burly dude with a softer caring side to him. And then, the heartbreaker, spoilers, but there's the heartbreaker part with him. That got me, man. That was sad. But yeah, he's got a really short story arc, I think, but there's so much to it. There's the aggression with his fighting style. There's the caring part again with Athena, and then there is some comedy in there too when they're back at his place. He's making all the food for them, and Sprite turns him into Gilgamesh with the onesie. Oh my god, It killed me. So yeah, Gilgamesh, definitely my favorite character of the movie. What was the other part of that question?
Your favorite power set out of all the Eternals? Set? Yeah.
Ooh, I have to go with Makari. I thought the way they gave her super speed. I don't know, the way I've seen super speed portrayed so many times, as all of us have. Dude, what is English? Once an episode, I have to just make up Vince English. Anyways,
it's English with Vinny.
Hello, it's me. I speak English.
Like we have Sundance Corner, we should have English with Vinny. where your head just
English
pops up and
class,
you're just
English
like
class
this.
with beans. Yeah,
Yep.
let's
And
do
then
it.
it's got to be super Italian, where it's
Hey,
wah,
how you
wah, wah,
doing?
wah, 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 wah. English with Vinny.
Oh my god, my mouth moves faster than my brain can comprehend. That's the issue.
And that's why you're picking Macari.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Because we have relation with speed. But as I was saying, we've all seen super speed portrayed many ways. Superman, the Flash, you name it. The way they pull off Makari, I thought was such an interesting new take on super speed. She just like comes in and out so fast, just like the pop, pop, pop. She's in, out, in, out. I love that, especially that fight scene on the beach with her when she's going after spoilers, she's
Oh,
going after Icarus.
whooping his ass.
That
Yeah.
was, oh my god, I loved it. So
I
that's my girl.
loved that portrayal of super speed too, because people always think like, oh, super speed, you're super fast. Like, it's not just that. It's, if you're super fast, you got to think about it in the logic that your body is significantly stronger than it should be because you have to withstand the G force that you're going at.
Mm-hmm.
And two, when you move, doesn't matter how strong you are, doesn't matter how laser vision, all that stuff, like how you were seeing the fight with Icarus, he couldn't keep up. So getting shoved at a supersonic speed, getting hit into a wall before he can even kind of react to it, that was cool. I loved it where he just kind of like looks and then she fucking knocks him again.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, that's what would happen. You wouldn't be able to, like, it's trying to block a punch and for a split second, and then that person's already hitting you 4 more times on the other side. I thought that was a good power set. Yeah, that's a good one.
I will say, I have to bring this up. As a Walking Dead fan, I had a spotlight on Lauren Ridloff, who is Makari. I was really curious to see how she was going to do in as what I know as her first major role on screen. And I thought she did really well. I love that she's deaf in real life. A lot of people don't know that. I think it's really cool that she's bringing that into the norm of movie watching. To me, anytime there is dialogue with her, there's that silence, and it instantly grabs your attention because it's such a break in the scene. You're instantly pulled in because you want to know what is she saying. I don't know. There's something about it that just hooks me. I thought she did a great job.
They did a good job, and the MCU did a great job pretty much explaining that because of Makari, that's where sign language came from.
Yeah. So cool.
It's from her, and the explanation that why she can't hear is because when she moves so fast, she creates sonic booms that would hurt another Eternal, so she doesn't feel that pain. I thought it was beautiful. Yeah, that character. Awesome. Can I change my answer?
What a sleeper pick, I think.
Yeah, it was a sleeper pick. All right,
let's let DJ go have his turn. Sorry.
Yeah, DJ, come on, man.
Power set wise, I'd probably go with Kingo. Kingo would probably be really cool. It feels like he's like, I feel like in the Old West, he probably was a gunslinger because he was able to do that'd be so cool to do. Favorite characters in the beginning, Icarus. He's your leading man. He seems like the stereotypical protagonist, the conflicted soldier that wants to follow orders but have a life outside of whatever war he's fighting. So of course we're intrigued, and it's also Richard Madden. So the square jaw, the white wolf. It's always fun to watch him.
King in the North.
King in the North. He'll always be the king in the North. Young wolf. But no, so it's really cool to follow that story. I think when we go and watch movies, we try and look for ourselves in characters, and you kind of gravitate towards certain characters after a minute. So like in the middle and towards the end, I was kind of feeling Kingo, and then ultimately Druig and Makari together because they had so much chemistry. Is ridiculous. Also, the amount the amount of swagger of the kid that's playing Druig.
Yeah.
Like he just at first I didn't know what his accent was, and then I finally there's like that scene in Macedonia or I forget or Babylon where like he starts to control the crowd and Icarus comes up and tries to like tell him to stop. And he says like you're gonna have to make me like very Irish. So it's like, oh, clearly this kid's Irish. Okay.
Yeah, he's in another. He's in a bunch of stuff, but he's in another movie, and he typically doesn't do like a American English accent. They normally let him just speak how he normally speaks. They don't try to Americanize him ever, which I
probably
love.
I don't think it will
He has
work.
a really interesting accent.
Yeah. He has a thick accent too, which
he tuned it down for this movie though, because I watched an interview with him and he was like barely decipherable.
Hilarious.
He's like, I was doing it and I was like, what did you just say?
Kevin Feige's like, we'll hire him, but that can't happen in the movie.
Yeah, we need subtitles. So
yeah.
No, but he was definitely the most interesting. He ended up being like the most relatable. And I liked his relationships with other characters where
they're very real and like very very real. Like you could
picture yourself having those type of relationships with other people.
Yeah.
Like his rivalry with Icarus, like where it feels like he's kind of like that older brother that, you know, he doesn't really care what he thinks. And then, you know, the just extended family that he kind of has and his love for Makari and like his confliction with whether he loves or hates the human race, you know, it's kind of, you know, so it's pretty cool how he interacts with everybody.
It's all of them had such a good, all the actors in the movie were just fucking brilliant, dude.
Can we, now that we've gone and, you know, not to end this topic on a negative note, and it might not be a negative note, maybe just for me, but
why did it blow?
Can we talk about Angelina Jolie's performance? What do you guys think about that? DJ obviously loves it.
So there were certain
Can you give me reasons why you love it? Because it
was hard to love, bro. For me, it was, I get it. It was too over the top at points.
You think so?
Dude, at points I was like, this is too over the fucking top. Or at other points, there wasn't that emotion that you would associate with it. You could tell that she was phoning it in at times too, which was frustrating because like when you're in kind of a Marvel production, Marvel Studios is one of 5 major studios that exist in the world right now, thanks to monopolies. So if you're in one of those movies, like bring your A game, and then it's weird that these lesser known actors, because it's true, some of them are lesser known actors, are stealing the scene from you. They are stealing the scene from you. That should not be happening if you're Angelina Jolie. If Brad Pitt was in the movie and then like what's his name? The guy who plays Ringo, or Gilgamesh.
Kingo.
Kingo.
The people who Ringo.
I don't know. I'm thinking Ringo Starr.
What is the Beatles?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
If these two actors who are, one's a comedic actor and the other one is an actor who just learned enough English to play his role, are stealing the scenes from you. That's weird to me, right? Like that was what was weird to me. Like I was more interested in how people were reacting with Angelina Jolie's character than her. So I think she phoned it in, and it's like no spoiler alert. If you told me they switched out deaths in the movie from Gilgamesh to Athena, I would have been happier. I would have been way happier. I would have been like, I would have rather seen Gilgamesh in the MCU than Athena, you know?
Right. It's not that I didn't think Angelina Jolie did a bad job. There were definitely moments where you can see that she still has an amazing repertoire of acting behind her, right? Like there are scenes with her and Richard Madden, and they have very minimal dialogue, and her vibe, like you can tell she's still got the Angelina Jolie vibe to her. And there's no Angelina Jolie, the fireworks, bro. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think she did a bad job. I don't think there was enough of her. She had barely any dialogue the whole movie, and I thought it was really weird. The takeaway I got from it was Marvel said, let's cast Angelina Jolie, put her on the poster, and hope that her face pulls in an audience. And that doesn't even add up to me because it's a Marvel movie. Why would you not go see it? There's already a huge fan base. So why do you need Angelina Jolie? It's just something's off with it. I don't know. Why cast her? That's what I'm saying. I think the money to pay her should have been put in the visual department and could have cast somebody else. If you're not, why would you cast a big star-studded person like that and not even have them have that much dialogue? What's the point in doing that?
I'm sure it was kind of like half of like what you said, where it was, we need stars. We need a name that'll, put fans in the seats to a certain extent, because it wasn't Eternals. Let's face it, isn't very mainstream at all. But Marvel's getting very known for taking those niche avenues and turning them into hits. So every now and then they're going to need a name, and maybe Jolie did phone in some scenes, but I personally thought it was cool to see her portrayal of it, and for them to even raise awareness to like dementia type diseases and things of that nature, even if it was in a Marvel movie. But it was cool. I think I loved it because it made sense that Gilgamesh died and she lived. Because if you really think about it, if the roles are reversed and we get Gilgamesh at the end, he's not the happy-go-lucky guy that he was before. He was already this fully formed character, and his death means some more than Athena's would have for the audience. And at the end, we kind of see Athena starting to try and enjoy life a little bit more and not get bogged down by whatever the disease was that they had the name for in the movie.
Alzheimer's. No.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that was indecipherable.
Superhero Alzheimer's.
Yeah, pretty much. And I just thought that was really cool. Was her performance the best? No, but you don't want so much focus on so many of the characters, which is probably why they didn't have Kingo come back at the end. Because let's face it, we were focused on Cersei, we were focused on Icarus and the betrayal. We were focused on Sprite's feelings for Icarus and Druig and Makari, and then we had Festos. Like, there was a lot going on.
Yeah. And all of it was necessary, because I will say,
was
Kingo's whole thing, like, they, as much as they tried to make them seem like they're all like godlike figures, like a lot of it was very human what they were doing.
They're an offshoot of humanity. They're still the basis of humanity there. So
Kingo had fear, which is why he left, which was important for the character, I guess. Like, important to show that they are in essence still human. Is when he's like, he even said, he's like, even if we all go against him, it's Icarus. He's like, he knew he couldn't, he knew that it's like trying to fight, it's the Justice League trying to fight Superman. That was the equivalency. I did like,
they could have low-key kicked his ass though.
I mean, they kind of did.
They did.
They kind of did, yeah.
And
they definitely underestimated themselves.
I was thinking, like, if Kingos was there, he could have been like, bah, 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 pew, 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 pew.
No, I mean, again, that beach scene, that ending beach scene was awesome. I love the fight choreography. This is English with Beans 101. Yeah, the fight scene on the beach was awesome.
I will say, all around, overall, I enjoyed that. Enjoyed those little bits. I just want to bring up, we got 2 more topics, and then we can Skadowski. But what did you guys think of the after credit scenes?
Oh, dude, I was losing my damn mind.
Vince, go first.
Yeah, let's go first, because I've got some shit talking to do. Let's try to end it on a positive note, I guess. The Kit Harington one, absolutely. I'm here for it. I'm so excited. I wish there was more Kit Harington in the
Black
Eternals.
Knight.
I get why there wasn't, because it's not his story. I have to just be patient and wait for his story. But the entire any scene with Kit Harington, the whole movie was great. He did an awesome job. The end credit scene with him unveiling the sword and then hearing the voice of Blade was fucking awesome, to be honest. The other after credit scene was confusing, and to be quite honest, a little gimmicky. This definitely plays into the logic of, or the opinion rather, of everyone gets a Marvel superhero role, even fucking Harry Styles. So spoilers, obviously, if you're this deep, sorry, but you did it to yourself. Harry Styles appears, and he is what's his name? Star Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he shows up, and he's Star Fox, Thanos' brother, and he's got this very poorly CGI, very poorly done CGI troll with him. And it's just like, come on, man, really? Harry Styles? Nobody else? Like literally nobody else signed up for this? You had to get Harry Styles? I don't know.
Victor?
So while watching the movie and watching the Kit Harington ending, with my dad was like, "What's going on?" And I'm just like, "He's the fucking Black Knight. Like the Ebony Blade is the one that they mentioned it, the Ebony Blade." And then he hears the Blade talking to him because the Blade does that. The Blade's the equivalent of like a killer version of Mjolnir. So I was like, "Holy shit!" I was like freaking out the whole time. I'm like, "Ah!" And it's talking to him because it's like pretty much telling him like, "Hey, pick me up, do some shit." And when he was reaching for it and it starts moving towards him, I'm just like, oh my God. Like I was like freaking out the whole time. I was like, this is so fucking and then hearing that voice where I'm just like, Cottonmouth. That's Cottonmouth's voice. It's Blade. And my dad's like, who is that? And someone's like, yeah, why was a random voice? And I hear that and I'm just like, it's fucking Blade. It's fucking Blade.
The diehards know.
Oh, dude. I was like, shivering in my seat. I was like, this is awesome. There's a possibility now that he's gonna Black Knight, Kit Harington's character, might show up in
Blade
Knight. Or in Blade too, yeah.
But oh my God.
In Moon
what's the group called? Victor, you're probably gonna know this.
The Midnight Suns.
Yeah, it's oh my God. Can you imagine the casting alone in that movie? Mahershala Ali, Kit Harington, Jared Leto, and who am I missing? Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, I was gonna say Oscar Isaac. You're missing it. There's like, the dude, I don't know the actor that they got, but in the Moon Knight show, one of the characters is Werewolf by Night.
Wow.
They have Werewolf by Night in it, and I'm just like, oh my God, if they do the Midnight Suns for one episode, I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind. For the Harry Styles one. Yeah, I was like, I wanted to focus a lot on this one because that was my favorite drop. Like that genuinely was my favorite drop because if you pay attention, it's the crest of the Black Knight. You see the history kind of painted on the thing, and you see that sword is some serious shit. It's a sword that can kill anything. It's not like it could stab you and you'll get hurt. No, if it kills you, you're dead. Doesn't matter if you're a god, doesn't matter if you're celestial, doesn't matter what you are. Like it'll kill you. The Harry Styles one, I will defend the director because she said the moment she read the character of Star Fox Eros, she thought of Harry Styles. She's like, this would be a perfect role for Harry Styles. And I will say, I agree with you that it's like weird to cast him. He does look like him. There's a bit of that. But I feel like it was so shoehorned in. There's plenty of other Eternals you could have kind of introduced at that time to be like, hey, here you go. There was the very poorly done. Yeah, I will agree. The drunk troll. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
Is Snow White gonna jump out of somewhere and be like, you stopped an Eternal?
Yeah, that looked bad.
It was really rough, and it was
good.
I hope if he's introduced, they're gonna keep him so like. And you are right. There's a lot to him, man. That like, if I tried to explain it to you, yeah, he's the brother of Thanos, and now you're gonna know that Thanos is like he's a hybrid between a deviant and eternal and a normal thing. So that's not even covering half of it. But I could imagine like that one was such a weird throw in. Like I don't whatever. I will say the first one, Kit Harington, holy crap, I almost pissed myself. The second one, my dad's like, who is that? I'm like, we don't gotta talk about it. We don't worry about that one.
I mean, he said Star Fox. I thought Star Fox 64. So
Right.
that's what I thought about. You know, I share all your same sentiments, pretty much to the letter. The only thing is that I would say I'm really proud of Marvel for not sticking any. Yeah, the Star Fox thing was a little gimmicky, but I'm glad that they didn't take anything from like all the like they didn't put in an unnecessary Spider-Man reference or Doctor Strange or anything like mainstream Marvel, and like the two after credits were extremely niche, like the direction that they're following. So like the real fans were gonna get that. It wasn't for like everybody in the theater because only me and my dad really got it. And he was like, Mahershala. I was like, yeah, I got it. So I mean, I thought it was really cool. I like that they're using all of their content and not going the DC route and continuously making everything Batman or Justice League related.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I would say could have done without the Starbucks, but just hearing Mahershala, I was like, I'm so excited. Like Moon Knight, Blade, oh, it's on. And God willing, a Black Knight miniseries.
God.
That would be dope. Speaking of though, of the MCU in general, where do you think the Eternals fit like in the future of the MCU? Vince, I'll start with you.
Honestly, man, I don't really know. I'm not really familiar with the comic line. So I'm not really sure like where the Eternals story goes in the comics and where to kind of where to use that to judge where the movies are going to go. I do know that they took Cersei and who'd they take? Cersei and a couple others, right?
Kingo and Sprite.
No, not Sprite.
No, they didn't take Sprite.
Oh yeah.
Sprite's a human now.
Yeah.
They took them somewhere. I think the future of the movie is going to be around those three. I think the others will kind of get left behind a little bit. We'll see them here and there, but the main cast is going to be those three, and they'll probably appear in maybe Thor. I don't know. I'm thinking of like other cosmic, definitely not Doctor Strange or anything like that. No Spider-Man for sure, but maybe the new Thor movie.
Or Guardians of the Galaxy.
Or Guardians. Yeah. Guardians is
because we're also going to get Adam Warlock and just watching your boy bulk up and everything.
True, yeah, because they threw Star Fox in there for a reason, because to tie him into Thanos. And if there's one franchise that ties into Thanos the most, I think it's probably Guardians, because you get
Nebula, Gamora.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. So maybe Guardians. Who knows? What do you guys think?
Fantastic Four, maybe.
So they in the Avengers comics, MCU comics, like the Eternals that are
everybody.
Yeah, they kind of rotate through. They are Avengers at points. Gilgamesh is a well-known Avenger.
Dan Whitman, he's not an Eternal, but he ends up becoming an Avenger.
Yeah, he becomes like a very powerful event, like one of the chairmen of the Avengers. And then
that's so cool.
And Icarus was, but homie's gone now. I think it's going to be interesting because I definitely see, like, spoiler alert from the movie, how Kingo, how he referenced that he knew Thor when he was a kid, how they knew Odin because they're so old that they knew them when they were just like kids or like young Odin. And he's just like, he's like, since he became a hotshot Avenger, he doesn't return my calls or doesn't say hi when I see him. I feel like they have to do a scene if they ever come back, like he has to be like, remember me, like Thor? And it's gonna be like, oh my god, Kingo. I feel like they're gonna not play the biggest part in the MCU, but they are gonna be in pivotal battles. You know what I mean? because they currently have a beef with the Celestials, the gods of the universe. So I feel like their storyline is going to be very different for the most part. Anything dealing with Earth, we're not going to really hear about them, minus Dan Whitman's character. Anything in space, yes, I agree. Like anything from Guardians, you're going to hear their Guardians and Thor. You're going to hear their references. Plus, they're going to introduce someone that kills Celestials, which is Gorg the God Butcher, Christian Bale's character.
Mm-hmm.
So we're probably more than likely going to see either a Gorg fight the Eternals that are still kind of working for the Celestials. You got to think about it like that. The Celestials created a bunch of Eternals. They're probably going to be like, "Hey, this guy, let him protect us."
Mm-hmm.
Christian Bale kills Angelina Jolie's Athena. Calling it right now.
Oh my God! Don't say that. Damn, that would be kind of cool though. I would like that.
I think it would be cool if we saw them like individually, like have an Eternal pop up here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that would be cool for them to make like tiny cameos. It seems like the future of Marvel is like they're following more cosmic, like space story timelines.
Yeah.
So like we're gonna see a lot of that with like the X-Men and Fantastic Four, and we'll see more like Celestials, Galactus, and I think those are hopefully the effects can live up to those stories. But I think I think they're moving in that direction. I think that's pretty cool. So if they're moving in that cosmic direction, hopefully we'll see Marvel's first cosmic family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
But on that note, that's a pretty good place to stop and end this episode. And you guys got any closing words?
Nah, I mean, overall, still got a sideways thumbs up. There's things I absolutely love, things that I didn't really like too much, but it's worth the watch for sure.
I will say, check it out. We see how we talked about it, and we all have different opinions, but please check it out because it was created by one of the greatest comic book artists and writers that we have ever known, Jack the King Kirby. So pay him the much due respect of at least checking it out so you can have an opinion and comment underneath with it and just tell us what to think.
What those two said. So, closing out, it is the Triple S crew wishing you and yours a wonderful night. And as always, I am DJ, aka Sundance.
I am Slick, not the King, Vic.
And it's Space Case, aka Vince. Thanks for sticking around to the end, guys. If you haven't, go ahead and subscribe. Helps us out a lot. Hit the thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.
Later.